the Ravens doing a lot of things right. And I think what was interesting, RG3 saying all this, but then we talked about it. I mean, Kurt Warner then, Zach, was talking about how the Ravens are still maybe not even fully clicking on all cylinders. And it's a testament because Lamar Jackson is still making things happen because of his elite playmaking ability.
Yeah, I think the perfect example of that is the Nelson Aguilar touchdown. I mean, Lamar Jackson ran around for 9 seconds. I am no football mastermind. I can put my life on that play was not drawn up with the expectations of 9 seconds of protection. That means that the first play failed, that it was covered, great coverage, couldn't get to the guys. And then it's the Lamar Jackson show. And that's what makes Lamar Jackson so special is you can stop the first play, but you can't stop the second play when everything breaks down. And now you have, okay, Lamar's on the run. He can still throw it. What do we do? And then he finds Nelson Aguilar for a touchdown. And it's those moments where, yeah, that's the offense didn't create that touchdown. Lamar did when everything else failed. So it's like a good and bad as a Ravens fan. It's, yeah, the offense is doing all this and it still has so much further it can go. But it's also bad in the fact that we don't want to rely on Lamar to run around for 9 seconds and then score.
It's not sustainable, right? And that's the big question, the big key. And we have so you mentioned Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner also pointed out that the spacing from the wide receivers also needs work. And this was in the Lions game. So we saw our buddy Bobby talking about this earlier, and this is one of the screenshots that was shown from Kurt Warner's analysis on that Lions game. And you can kind of see where it seems as if the receivers aren't quite where they're supposed to be. And this this is what makes it look like at times that Lamar either isn't throwing accurately when, to the untrained eye, there's a lot of people are like, well, why can't Lamar throw the ball? Where the heck was that supposed to be? And lots of times it's because the receivers aren't where they're supposed to be. So as crazy and as amazing as that game was in the Lions game, it actually is almost scary that the offense was still as good as it was with some of these flaws here.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, first off, if you haven't watched it, you guys should go watch Kurt Warner's breakdown because he's very objective and gives an understanding, and he shows the routes and the concepts of where they should be.
And he's spot on.
But the other part of it too is he's even showing you the numbers that the Ravens are putting up. It's even more impressive given all that's going out that they're trying to work out, and that Lamar Jackson is making things happen. And he's going through his progressions or extending the play and making something happen. And that's the brilliance of Lamar Jackson right there. And hey, don't we all love that? But that's the beauty of where this team's going. And look, nothing's going to be perfect. We talked about this. Everyone's expectation that you're going to hit the ground running. I'm going to be honest here. Anything that I tried differently, and this included stances for me when I played, if I tried something for the first time, I can guarantee you, shit sucked.
Yeah.
I went, this feels good in the cage. I'm going to go in the game. K, another K. Oh, I'm going to feel great. Shattered bat. And then maybe the fourth at bat, something finally clicked, right? So in this case, for this Ravens team, week by week, something little by little is clicking. But you know what's been clicking the entire time? Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Number 8.
And that's why he's the MVP frontrunner. It's like Mark Ingram, the MVP frontrunner. You got anything else to say about that? Meet him outside the bank.
Come see me.
Yeah. Hey, what was that phrase?
Trust. But I think that's the point that why Lamar's the MVP right now, because not everything is going well. There's still so much to go in the offense. And he's kind of by himself at moments making this stuff happen.
Well, and that's why, a lot of talking heads are talking about Pat Mahomes being the front runner for MVP. Why?
Yeah.
He hasn't, like, if you compare the statistics between what Pat Mahomes has been doing lately and what Lamar's been doing, especially with what he's got, like, it's just been night and day. Just the eye test alone tells you that it's not even close in my view. And Vegas right now, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, Lamar's not exactly favored to win the
No.
MVP. He's probably like 5th or 6th
Yeah.
down the
Mhm.
line.
Still
Yeah.
Mahomes.
And it's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. So well, again, when the Chiefs have one loss and Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback, yeah, I mean, rightfully so. There's no debate. And you know what gets me when we had this, some people were coming at us hot about, well, wait a minute, what about Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen? Like, we even said last show, if we're going to do a top 4 of playmakers, those are the top 4 for me: Mahomes, Lamar, Jalen, Josh, right?
Mhm.
But if we look at some of the other parts of it, Josh Allen has an elite top 3 wide receiver. AJ Brown, elite receiver for Jalen Hurts, also tremendous line, tremendous scheming of it. And Jalen Hurts, rightfully so, is an MVP candidate. No doubt about it. Like, all these guys are spectacular. The only reason we're making the case for Lamar Jackson is that he wins a lot of games when he plays. And clearly, I think that everyone wants to find a reason for why he shouldn't be as successful as he is. And when you really do watch it more, you marvel if you watch the Ravens over and over again because of how much he creates when nothing's there.